Good afternoon, viewers. This is Brian here again from Less Magic, More Gathering. Yesterday I opened up the Angrath pre-built Planeswalker deck and 2 additional packs. Today I am going to do the Vraska pre-built deck along with 2 additional packs. So same as what the video was yesterday, I'm just going to crack it open, run through the cards that are in this deck, and do a little bit of detailed conversation about what they do and how they work together, and then maybe throw some ideas on how to improve it. Like I said yesterday as well, you play the deck a few times to kind of get a feel of it, and then open some packs and see if you can add some things to make it better. So let's crack into this and see what we have. And if you've been watching our channel, we did post our second box opening from yesterday. It was late last night. Both these came out kind of late, but that's all right. So make sure you check those out and subscribe if you have not. And if you have, then get your friends and other people that you know might be interested in this. Even if they're not, I don't even care. Get them to subscribe, because if they win the cards, hey, maybe they'll win them for you if you don't win. So just get our name out there and start hitting that like button as well. All right, so Vraska, she is a 6-drop Planeswalker. The +2 is creatures you control get a +1/+0 until end of turn. The -3, destroy target creature. And then the -10 ultimate is until end of turn, creatures you control gain death touch, and whenever this creature deals damage to an opponent, that player loses the game. So as you can see, beefing her up and getting to that last ultimate at -10, pretty much a game ender if it happens. But obviously most people try to avoid that. So moving on to the pack of cards. So we got two booster packs right over there with the other 2 that we'll open here in a minute. And go ahead and crack open this. Well, if I can figure out how to open a plastic package, we'll be good to go. Alright, first on the block, we got Champion of Dusk, rare, 5-drop. When Champion of Dusk enters the battlefield, you draw X cards and you lose X life, where X is the number of vampires you control. Well, I guess you better have a lot of life. Maybe, I don't know. Decent card, I guess. Vraska's Scorn, 4-drop. Sorcery, target opponent loses 4 life. You may search your library and our graveyard for a card named Vraska. Scheming, probably, Gorgon. Can't read today. It's Saturday, leave me alone. Reveal it and put it into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. 2 of those, probably strictly only out of this pre-built deck. Like I said yesterday, you can go get them, or probably buy them from a store. Somebody probably sold them, or heck, just go buy another pre-built if you really want them that bad. Alright, Paladin of Atonement, 2-drop. At the beginning of your each upkeep, if you lost life last turn, put a 1/1 counter on Paladin of Atonement. When Paladin of Atonement dies, you gain life equal to its toughness. That's not bad. Some way to get a lot of counters on him, and if you can protect him each turn, and he continues to go up in life. Alright, Bishop of the Bloodstained. When Bishop of the Bloodstained enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 1 life for each vampire you control. 5-drop. This is a strictly vampire deck. I'm pretty sure it's focused on that. I think it's all black. Yeah, it's a mono black. Vampire basics. Alright, Deathless Ancient, a 6-drop flying vampire creature. Tap 3 untap vampires you control. Return Deathless Ancient from your graveyard to your hand. That's from Ixalan, of course. The other one was too. So you're going to have a couple mixtures of each from those both those sets. Dusk Legion Zealot. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card and then lose 1 life. So if you're trying to get a card, regardless if you got life to spare, that's a good card to have in there, a couple of those. Looks like you only got 1, unfortunately. I'd probably put a couple if you're needing to get into some of these cards or even get lands. 2-drop, 2/2 creature vampire soldier. Just a basic creature for this deck. Nothing exciting about it. If it's not really that useful, that's something I would consider swapping out for something that's got a little bit more value to it. Skymarch Bloodletter, I like this one. This is a pretty simple 3-drop flying. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Now it's just a simple 1-for-1 switch, two point swing technically, but it's a good flying card, so it's not bad to have in there. I might add another one, maybe a 4th one, if I was going to keep the vampires strong with that one. Vampire Champion, 4-drop, Death Touch, 3/3. Everybody loves Death Touch because nobody wants to touch it. So there's 4 of those in here, and probably for good reason. So that's one you might want to keep in there. Vicious Conquistador. Whenever Vicious Conquistador attacks, each opponent loses 1 life. So This guy is pretty simple, 1-drop, 1/2. So he's only swinging for 1, but when you're playing a one-on-one game, it's an extra life. But if you're playing a 2-headed giant, it's now 3. So if you can find a way to get him flying or make him unblockable, anything for that matter, you're swinging for, you know, at least 3 every time, and that can be devastating. If you can fly it or whatever. So he's a simple. You can add more of those in there. I would. Vraska's Conquistador. When Vraska's Conquistador attacks or blocks, if you control a Vraska Planeswalker, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So that's pretty good. That's an almost combo with this technically. I mean, granted, this one is more effective based on the aspects of what it does, but you do have to have her on the field of play. So that's a little bit of a negative side. But yeah, I would keep those in there for sure. At least a 2, maybe the 3 is a good number. I don't know, but that's up to you to judge that one. But that's still a decent card. Exultant Sky Marcher. 3-drop flying, 2/3. Nothing exciting, but it is a flyer, so flyers are always a good cards. Famished Paladin. I don't know if the cards. I said it was mono black earlier. Apparently, I didn't get far enough. This is white black. My mistake. So, and I should have said something earlier when I went through the first white card, but I was in the zone apparently. Famished Paladin, 2-drop. Doesn't untap during its untap step, so whenever you attack, obviously it stays tapped. But if Squire's Devotion's in here, which we talked about during our pack opening, that's a good combo. I don't see it, but depends on if you want to take something else out to put that in. And I like that, being a 4/4 lifelink with technically Vigilance. So 2 of those. Inspiring Cleric, 3-drop. When Inspiring Cleric enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. So if you're down on the dumps and losing too much life, or you need some little extra perk, it's not a bad 3-drop for a 3/2 creature and gaining 4 life. Skyblade of the Legion, 2-drop flying, 1/3. Not super effective on the damage, but nonetheless still a flyer that maybe you can do Vampire Zealot on, give it a 3, or give it a total of 3, so they're swinging for 3. It's always something. Legion's Lieutenant. Other vampires you control get a +1/+1. Like I said yesterday on the packs that I opened, I got one of these. This would go great in this. If this is a heavy vampire deck, there's no reason why you wouldn't want to put this in here. 2/2, and it's a 1/1 for all the other vampires, so they all get stronger. I'd add more of those if I had them. Gilded Sentinel, 4-drop artifact creature golem, 3/3. Again, this was in the last deck, I believe. Nothing exciting, doesn't do a whole lot for me. Maybe if you had more heavy artifact options, I'd leave that in there, but I might swap that one out. Forsaken Sanctuary, swamps and plains, all the necessary things. Moment of Craving, instant card, 2-drop. Target creature gets -2/-2 till end of turn. You gain 2 life. Another life gainer. Pretty good turnaround too. So if you're about to take damage or you need to minimize a creature to kill it, it's pretty helpful. Recovery, 3-drop. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Draw a card. So there's another draw card option there, and you can put a creature back in from your graveyard to your hand. So technically you're getting 2 cards added to your hand. Who knows? Maybe you get that land on this draw card step, and the creature card you pull out allows you to play 2 because of the land as well. So those are good. That's up for debate on which ones, if you want to add more of those or take them out. But those are both decent cards.
Come on, Daddy.
Daddy's working, babe. My daughter's here. Say hi. She said hi. Okay. I'll be in there in a minute. I love you. Thank you. Bright Reprisal. 5-drop, instant destroy target attacking creature. Draw a card. So there again, another draw step, and you can destroy something that's swinging at you. So that's pretty decent. Moment of Triumph. I like this one too as well. So it's a 1-drop. Target creature gets a +2/+2 until turn. You gain 2 life. So like I said with Vampire Zeal, that one gives them first strike, but if it's a vampire, but this one gives you 2 life and gives you the 2/2. So even if you have that 1/3 flyer, you make it a 3/3 flyer, hit them for something a little bit more, and then draw a card. So those are pretty decent cards in there. So I went through all the ones that are in this set. And there's a few, like the artifact for me, I wouldn't have it in there. Maybe I'm seeing it differently, but I just think it's a filler card. They're like, yeah, put that in there for a creature. I don't really like it. So I'd swap that out, and I'd add a couple of some other ones. Get your number of creatures that are here that you want to maybe add additional one of 2. Especially this guy, if it's vampire heavy, that's a must in my opinion. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, but I would definitely put more of him in there. So there you have it. let's run through these packs and see what cards we come up with, and see if any of those are gonna, be a good swap out for this deck to improve its strength. I'll start with the first one. Let's see what we got. All right. Oh, flashy foil already. I like when I get foils. All right, so we're gonna start with Highland Lake. Uncommon double land, 2-color land. Baffling End. So Baffling End enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls. The converted mana cost 3 or less. When Baffling End leaves the battlefield, target opponent creates a 3/3 green dinosaur creature. Token with trample. So it's good for an exile. If card that's very bothersome, but you got to remember this is it's not a huge deal. But when you exile something, it's exiled. But when this dies, I don't know. I'll have to look at the ruling. It doesn't say. Normally the card comes back into field of play, which it should. But then if that's the case, then if they do remove this enchantment, they're getting their card back plus a 3/3 creature. So that's debatable on how effective that is for what you want to do with it. Highland Lake. And Oathsworn Vampire enters the battlefield tapped. You may cast Oathsworn Vampire from your graveyard if you gain life this turn. So having said that, he's not bad. There's a lot of options with bringing him back and forth into the graveyard and dealing damage. One of the ones I saw them do was Bontu's Monument. So you bring him back. Obviously, creature comes to the battlefield. Target opponent loses life. You gain one. So, I mean, that's one way to chop your opponent down and gain some life. I think you get a life. But he's good for that option. I know some people are running that one. And our foil rare, which is awesome. We got a foil rare, Wayward Swordtooth, 3-drop, Ascend creature. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Wayward Swordtooth can't attack or block unless you have City's Blessing. That's good. It's a 5/5 for 3, so all you gotta do is hold on to that till you're at City's Blessing, and then now you can play more lands. But I guess in order to play the lands, you want to get it out early. So it depends. It just depends on what you draw. Not a bad foil. Not really for this deck because it's green. And we did get a flip card, a Golden Guardian Golem. We went over that card yesterday, and actually multiple days. The last couple days we opened boxes. Should have another one released tonight. I'm hoping it gets released. All right, well, we're going to open it later tonight, I believe, and then we're going to post it, so we'll see if it gets out a little earlier than last night. Okay, so the flip card, Gold Forged Guardian. Add 2 mana of any color to your mana pool. Tap 4, tap this, create a 4/4 golem artifact creature token. So that's pretty decent. I guarantee it works in a lot of different angles of this game. But not for this one, I don't think. Not for this deck. Moving on to the next pack. Sorry, sometimes I babble. Don't mind me. All right, what do we got in this one? Move to the back. I think right there. Here we go. Actually, you know what I should have done earlier? Legion's Lieutenant, look at that, another one. So there you go. You can add that one and drop out a card that you don't think you're going to use. Charging Tuscadon, not going to use that one in this deck. Oathsworn Vampire, that's something you possibly could use in this deck. It depends on how you're going to go with it. We'll put that over there in the pile of possibly use. Since it's white and black, we'll keep them together. I need to put the other ones from the... I'll go through that in a minute. And Mastermind's Acquisition. This is something you can use in a black-white deck, obviously. It's black, but we went over this yesterday because I got this in one of the packs, so apparently it's a fairly common rare as well. Choose one, search your library card. For a card, put it into your hand and show the library, or choose a card from outside the game. So it just depends on how you want to set your deck up. If you want to, or if you draw that card specifically already in your hand and there's another one you want, and you go shoot for it. And your sideboard. Alright, so since I should have done this, since these packs came in here, I should have separated. So we got Sanguine Glorifiers, 3-drop, 4-drop, put a 1/1 counter on the target vampire. Possibly a good addition to this vampire's base deck. Vampire Revenant, 4-drop flying, 3/1. Another possibility. It's expensive, 4 only 3/1, but you can always pump it up when it's swinging if they don't have any flying blockers. Now the Stampede. Recover, black card, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, draw a card. That's not bad if you're trying to get something back into your hand as well as draw a card. Those options are decent. That's just something to think about doing. Impale, 4-drop, destroy target creature. If you want to get rid of something they got on the field play, then that's one to put in there. I didn't notice anything when I went through the deck if there was any remove creatures, so if that's the way you want to go, that's something to add. Snowborn Sentry, 1-drop 03 when it gets City's Blessing at +3/+0. So that's not a bad late game dropper for a 3/3 for 1-drop. Put it there, but I don't think it's going to go in this deck. Another Sanguine Glorifier, not bad. Moment of Craving, that's also another good one that's already in there. This guy again, so there's quite a few in here. And then Gruesome Fate, each opponent loses 1 life for each creature control. You got a token-based deck, you play that, and they're going to start losing a lot of life. So that's what came in there. Those 2 packs that came with the pre-built. So there's a couple that I probably would add into this to increase that. Definitely the Legion Lieutenant and maybe another one. I can't remember which one I was thinking. But I'll go over these again after I'm done, the black-whites, to see which ones I'd probably add in here. I'd decide later which ones I'm going to actually remove. And as again, like maybe I will mess with this one this weekend as well and then play it either on Monday or Tuesday. So I got a couple options. Just something to look into. You might see it on one of our game videos next week. Tell me what you think when I play it. This one and Ingress, either one of them. Alright, so we're just going straight to the back. So we had Raptor Champion, possibly, nope, we probably wouldn't put that in there. Vampire Revenant again, another black flying creature. Knights, Secret City, Overgrown, Gruesome Fate, another one of those. Exaltant Sky Marcher, that's a flying 2/3 vampire for 3. That's another flyer if you're going to go flyer. Mausoleum Harpy, another flyer with Ascend. Whenever another creature you control dies, if you have the City's Blessing, put a 1/1 counter on this. So if you know your creatures are going to get killed, like a lot of tokens, you can pump it up as City's Blessings in play. And that's uncommon. Uncommon. Strength of the Pack, Famous Paladin, the other one I told you I like that. Oh yeah, Zatalpa. Woo! I'll take Zatalpa. Right now, this card doesn't hold a lot of quality, money value, but if you're not really into that, then it holds a heck of a value on the field. Now, it is expensive to get out, so if you have ways to get out there cheaper, so be it. But man, it is a pain in the ass. Flying, Double Strike, Vigilance, Trample, Indestructible, 4/8. We were playing a game the other day, which I wish to God we would have recorded it. There was a lot going on, and we were down to 1 life because of Vraska, the other Planeswalker. We were dead, pretty much, dead to the water. I was about to give up, but my teammate said, "No, dude, hold on, let's see what happens." We came back, no shit, we came back, and that bad bitch was on the field, so there wasn't much we could do. We had to try to get around the Double Strike and the Vigilance, and we were making it work, but I screwed up, missed a play, and we ended up losing. So they can blame me all they want. I'll take it. It was my fault. Shit happens. Moving on. But either way, that Zatalpa's a heck of a card. So I'm glad I got it. I think I got 2 now. I'm going to probably try to work that into a deck somewhere. We'll see. That might not be till later down the road. But hey, watch the videos. You'll see me playing it. Tell me what you think. You can always comment anything you want on these videos. I'll take any criticism, anything you want. It doesn't bother me any. This is just what I do. Still new at it, as you can tell. I'm not a professional. So, moving on. Legion's Conquistador. Everybody knows how that one works because it's a reprint from Ixalan. Moment of Craving, another one of those. It's still all good. I like that one. Luminous Bonds, a enchant creature. Enchanted creature can't attack or block. So if you're trying to hold somebody down because they got a real strong bastard, then yeah, that's what you do right there. Dark Inquiry. That's target reveals for his or hand, choose an on-land card from it, and then exile or discards it. They have discarded it. So that's a good one if you're trying to get rid of some of the stuff they have in their hand. Jungle Creeper, not something I'm playing in here. Kekophodon, I still don't know if I'm saying it right, but that's okay. Siren Reaver, and then the Immortal Sun. Everybody likes that one. That is an excellent artifact, rare artifact. Actually, is it Mythic? It is! I was way off. Mythic! I'll take it. Immortal Sun, 6-drop. Players can't activate Planeswalkers' loyalty abilities. At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card. Spells you cost, cast 1 less to cast. Creatures you control get +1/+1. That's a good one to go in any deck, man. I mean, if you can find a way to fit it in there, it is expensive, because I don't think we got anything that makes artifacts cheaper right now that I know of. But I'll tell you what, if they're playing a Planeswalker deck and there's some stuff out there that really pisses you off, this is beneficial. Hopefully they don't have artifact destruction. If they do, then there's not much point, but still, I'd put these bad boys in a deck. Getting additional card helps, and everything you cast is 1 less. So if you got big creatures or something that's expensive, like Zatalpa, boom, that helps out. And then plus they go +1/+1. So there you have it, folks. That's what I got in these 2 packs or 4 packs, plus what came with the pre-built. And For this vampire Vraska deck, this is kind of what I got going on. Each opponent loses life for each creature control. Don't know if I'll squeeze that in. I would probably want to have more creatures, a token-based thing, and this one's not really designed that way. When Dusk Legion's in a battlefield, you draw a card and lose a life. So if you need extra cards, he's not bad. Now you lose a life, but so be it. Moment of Craving, I like this one. I'll probably add that in there for some, destruction factor. Maybe this one. The token or the counters isn't huge right now. I mean, it is, but not the way this one's set up. So getting one extra counter is not, killing it. So I would doubt it. Snowborn Sentry, if I really felt like I needed to put that in there just for a, a good 3-drop or 3/3 at the back end of the game, maybe, but I don't know. Destroy target creature, that's possible. There was no removals, but I might look into that. Return target creature card from your hand at graveyard, and then draw a card. I like that one because you always get stuff killed, so that's something I might look into adding that. Maybe this flyer if I want to go a little bit heavier on flyers and their sanguine. This one I probably won't play, but I'm going to find something. I'm going to do a deck that's designed to get these going and have something good. That might be down the road as well. Definitely and probably not. And this guy, there's a possibility, but I think using him to his best ability, you need to have that option with the Bantus in there, so you're going to have to add that, because there's no point in bringing creatures back from the graveyard all that often if you can't really use it. So maybe put those in there. We'll see. I'll mess with this over the weekend, like I said, and have one ready for you. Both of them, hopefully one of them ready on Monday and the other one ready on Tuesday. So there you have it. That's my video for Vraska's pre-built Planeswalker deck for Rivals of Ixalan. And don't forget to check out our other videos. We are Less Magic, More Gathering. Please subscribe. Send it out to your friends. I know there's tons of Magic lovers and even collectors out there. They like to see this stuff, so pass it along. Get some viewers for us. Get some likes. And don't forget about our giveaways on all 3 boxes that we're opening this week. Check out those videos to see what you possibly want to choose if you get picked. That's what we need, man. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. All right, it's Brian from Less Magic, More Gathering. Deuces.